Welcome to Leaving CrazyTown with Finn and Sarah. Sarah, what are we going to talk about today?
Hey everybody, welcome to our first episode with a guest. We've got Miss Jenny here to discuss some code-crazy behaviors and how we can possibly give solutions. So we were just talking to Jenny about bringing up a topic that we might be helpful to do a little deep dive in. So Jenny, take it away. What do you think? What's been troubling you? What are we working on?
Well, I am the type of person who automatically wants to become what the other person might like.
Definition of code-crazy. Sorry,
Correct.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't, and I'm not talking about doesn't have to be romantic. It can be with anybody, a
Yes.
person, friendship, anything, colleague. I just fall into a pattern automatically
Yes.
where I listen for keywords and then I want to become what they will like.
What you think.
What I think, what I'm
Yeah.
telling myself they will like without even asking myself, what do I think of them?
Yes.
I just look for, it's not common ground, it's crazy.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And as a result, they don't know who I am because they're dealing with a facade.
You're creating
An
the person you
actress.
think that they want.
I'm in a role. I'm performing
Yes.
instead of just being myself
Yes.
and seeing if they like me, and if they don't, so be it.
Right.
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 It sounds good, but I fall into that pattern every time.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I know for me, same thing. I do that all the time and I'm working on that. And the other thing is, like, I may do that for someone I don't even want to be spending time with, but I never give myself the opportunity to even figure that out because I'm too busy worried about whether they like me or not.
Right. So that's really, we're giving a big definition of code-crazy right now, which is my behavior is based on how I think someone else feels, rather than the question to ask ourselves as we're getting to know new people, say when we first get sober in the early stages of a romantic relationship. The question we should really ask is, what do I feel about them? I know that's like the opposite of what Jenny's talking about. Jenny's saying, do they like me? We call it the he likes me syndrome.
And the other thing is, not just whether I like them or not, because it may be too soon to know.
Yes.
But how do I feel when I'm with this person?
Yes.
How am I feeling? Some people I walk away, I feel invigorated. I want to hear more about them. I want to share more about myself. And other people I walk away and I'm like, something fell off.
Yes. Or you're
Yeah.
totally drained
Yeah.
because they could be talking about themselves the whole time. So give us a tiny bit of history, Jenny. Are there some common themes in your relationship history where it was all about them and that eventually you just probably, I assume, got full of resentment because you didn't think you could be who you were, even though that's what you were doing to yourself?
Well, every relationship was
Got
all
it.
about them. Every
Okay.
single one. And take, for instance, my ex-husband now.
Yep.
But I just would go out of my way to be who I thought he wanted. And I was who he wanted because he believed the role. And then we got married and it didn't work out.
Did the real Jenny come out?
Oh, yeah. After we were. And you know, it's funny. I swear to God, it's 6 months to the day where
It comes out.
after 6 months, then
You hear stories like
I'm not
this.
trying to impress them anymore.
Yes. No, but do you know how many times I've had clients that get married and then I hear the woman comes to see me and she says, I don't know what happened, but suddenly he was totally different after we got married. So what do we think is happening here? You got some thoughts on that, Finn? Why?
I don't know. Well, I'm recently dating, and
Okay.
we've talked about going through all the seasons together because getting to that place where you're all, well, you talked about it, and you're all, especially with dating, it's happy, it's new, even everybody's like on their best behavior, whether it's being the person they want or just not showing your true colors.
Yep.
And you think that dynamic is so great, but you haven't problem solved, you haven't really shared your true self, that intimacy, because to me, it's all about creating intimacy, and intimacy is what's required for me to open up and share myself. And as I do it, I get deeper and more intimate. But I think over time, we can only pretend to be something for so long,
Absolutely. And I think when we're dating someone so often, or even like Jenny's talking about, fear is making our decisions. So Jenny's talking about the fear of being herself, which could be the fear of someone rejecting her.
Rejection.
Yes. Or Finn talking about, some fear maybe in the past has gotten you into certain relationships. But what is happening now? We're really trying to be in the truth and be in reality, because when we don't let ourselves be who we really are, that affects us in the long run and leads to all kinds of co-crazy behavior. So what can some new strategies be as I get to know either a friend or a new romantic relationship? What can we do differently? Instead of keeping the focus on the other person, what do?
We check in with ourselves. And for me, I can get all consumed in a friendship or a new relationship and not take time by myself. And I won't know how I'm really feeling until I get out of it and I take the space and sit, not run myself ragged while I'm alone, but sit and be like, check in with myself.
Check in with yourself is huge.
How am I feeling? How did I feel about that?
Absolutely.
I'll often analyze time I spent with someone new, and I don't know if you do this, Jenny, where I'll be like, oh, I shouldn't have said that, or I talked too long about that, or it seemed like they didn't like my opinion on that. And instead of saying, how did I feel listening to them, I'll analyze the conversation and try to hit the things that I maybe shouldn't have said or whatever.
But what's so key is you're analyzing what they might have thought about you, rather than thinking about, what did I think about what they were saying? What do they, what's their political views? What is their health views? Are they healthy? Do they exercise? I mean, I don't know, whatever things are your priorities. So thinking about Jenny and her early experiences creating new relationships, what are some things you can think of doing to create a different result?
I have absolutely no idea.
Right. So if you're, okay, you know what we should do?
Well,
Go ahead.
maybe I should I like to make lists. I'm a list person. But this might be...
No, but sticking with the facts.
Well,
go ahead.
Like you indicated, well, I try to steer clear of politics, but, are they maniacal when they drive, or...
Key.
Or, because do I feel safe with
them?
are
they angry?
Right.
Which
well,
would
I don't
show
even,
I
already think you're super brave, because you're talking about them driving. I wouldn't even be in the car with them.
That's a little
that's
meeting. Another episode. We'll discuss cars later.
What I was thinking when you were saying that, though, like, I like to check out how people treat wait staff. Like, I give myself ideas to watch for certain things. But the other tool that I like is, if I'm meeting someone new and I'm anxious, I'll take a break and go to the bathroom, even if I don't need to, just to check in with myself.
Check in with yourself.
Like, remind myself a little check-in.
Yes.
I know.
Because you're really trying to stay in reality, which is really hard when you're in that, say, early buzz. I call it la la land, in the early buzz of a romantic relationship, where oxytocin or whatever is like clouding your brain. So just to kind of try to check in with yourself. Geez, do I feel good when I'm with this person? Is this person treating me kindly? Are they listening to me? Are we connecting?
You can make a list of friendship questions.
Yes.
Right.
It's
and
a great
also
idea.
go into meeting someone new. Like, I have no problem with practicing.
Yes.
Like, I'm going to go out and I'm going to practice this. I'm going to meet a new person for lunch, and I'm going to practice focusing on whether I like them or not.
Yes.
I'm gonna set out to say, what do I want to wear when we go out? Like, what feels comfortable for me? And anytime I'm thinking about what they want or need, I'll try to get myself some kind of reminder.
Yes.
To be like, oh, but what do I want?
This is the tool we're leaving you with, and then we're going to do part 2 because I just thought of another thing, is keep bringing it back to you, right? What do I want to wear on this date? What do I feel comfortable in? What do I want to talk about? Continue it to just keep the focus. Every time you go over and do the other person's hula hoop, we call it, bring it back to you, because we're leaving Crazy Town. We love you.
We're out of
Fasten
here.
your seatbelt.